What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, this is TWA Motorsports, and today we are going to do, well, we're going to start a few things. This video is going to go over the course of probably a couple weeks, but there's a couple things that we've got that we want to put on this truck. I mean, it is beat up, but we want to kind of make it look a little nicer. But we're going to start. He's actually taking the bed cover off, which, guys, look, the bed cover was flopping around. He's using it to mow. He puts a you know, like a push mower and a weed eater in the back, so he's going to go ahead and take that off. He's working on that right now. Just 6 bolts that pretty much clamp it to the side of the bed. He's going to take off. But aside from that, and normally I would keep that, guys, but it's kind of a janky one, and so we're not gonna deal with it. But one of the things that I got in that I want to show you is this thing's missing the bow tie, and this has been, the whole front end, I'm assuming, has been replaced at one point. Sorry if you guys are catching some wind, it's really windy, but this is not the factory grill. And how I know that is the factory grill would actually have a cutout here, so it would go up in order for the emblem to set flat. So this is not the original grill that this truck came with. I'm assuming, based on the bumper, and it's missing some of the closeout pieces under the lights, I'm assuming at some point it's crunched into something, or it's just been replaced. But either way, we did get a new bow tie for it. It is a billet one, just because the factory one's so expensive, and honestly a black one looks a little nicer. Now, I did end up buying a cheaper version, which I will list in the description down below, like all the stuff that I use, guys. I list all that stuff in the description. We're gonna go grab it, we'll take a look at it and talk about why I went with this one over, there's a really expensive one out there that's like $90 to $100. This one was like $45. So I honestly think it's just as nice, maybe not quite as nice, I don't know, but let's go grab it and take a look at it. This is the one that we got. You can see the, I don't know if that part number correlates to anything, but this is the way it goes on there. You can see it's got these studs that screw in, and I've loosely got them threaded in. You see they have an insert. I actually have that one upside down, but we can tighten them up using the back end, and we need to go ahead and do that before we put this in place. So I'm going to go grab what looks like a 2mm or something crazy small, and we'll get those snug down in there. You don't want to go too crazy because you'll break them, or you'll come through the front. You don't want to do that because that'll look terrible. But then this guy just sets in here, and it looks like it's going to be a really close fit. But let's get those threaded in first. He's got the back of that all disassembled. Like I said, it's not too bad, but we need to take this off to give us the access behind that we need. I got those bolts or inserts threaded in. This is generally what I use, guys. This has definitely been replaced because these are not the factory ones either, and which makes them a little harder to get. Yeah, see, it broke. These are like some sort of aftermarket clip. Normally the GM ones would have an indentation on both sides, so oh well, not a big deal. We're gonna pull them out with this. We may break a few and have to replace a few, but we'll get them out of here, and then we'll grab that bow tie and see if we can get it in place. So after breaking every one of those clips, I mean every single one of them, I cleaned the grill up a little bit. You guys seen the hood? It's got a ton of overspray, so I just used some steel wool and knocked this down. I mean, there's still some on there, like these big pieces of primer. I don't know what they were thinking, but either way, we've got these snug down. You can see, like I said, they have an Allen that you can bolt down the middle, but then this guy goes in here, and it is going to be a stretch. I don't want to make those holes any bigger because I want it to fit nice and snug. And I've got the number facing up, and it fits nice, guys. It actually kind of surprisingly well. So now we're just gonna go on the back side and snug those down. You can see what I'm talking about. There would normally be something that would be recessed that would set in, but looks good. Now we need to just source some new clips, but yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Definitely looks a lot better, especially since it cleaned up the grill a little bit. So continuing our progress on you know, just random things that we're gonna do to this truck to make it a little better. He told me the speakers are blown in the door and in the back, and so the other thing is the speaker grill fell off because whoever took this apart did it, you know, improperly. So I've got some speakers out of my green truck there because I'm replacing those, and I don't know where this video is going to post before or after, but either way, we're going to go ahead and put those in here. And so we got to take the door panel off in order to do that. I bought a couple things that I want to show you guys that are really kind of helpful, and they're cheap. So I did go ahead and buy them, but we're gonna pop the door panel off. We're gonna get this fixed. You see how it's falling off. like I said, somebody just didn't know what they were doing, which is pretty common, and get the speaker replaced. But then I'm also, I think I told you guys a while back I was going to put the tinted glass in this truck. I may do that as well, so we'll just have to see. Let's go grab some stuff to pop this door panel off. Now, since my son is mowing and it's gonna be kind of noisy out here, guys, I'm gonna try to time lapse. You guys have seen me take these door panels off before. The only thing's different from this and the one inside is you have this guy, which will have a Torx underneath it, and you'll have the little pin in the front of the door. The other thing is you have to take the door panel off to release your switches. Don't try to pry these up like the older trucks. They're actually bolted down here. So let's get some of this stuff out of the way. As you can see, it's got a set of aftermarket speakers in it, and holy cow, did they not know what they were doing as far as like the way the door panel has been taken off, guys. It's broken in like 5 or 6 spots. So at some point, if I find some, I'll probably replace them. Holy cow, that's way too long also. And of course they spliced in. I'm assuming they didn't solder it, so I'll be able to pull this right apart. Yep, that's generally the case. Just twist it together, you know, good enough. But these are junk. I'm gonna toss them. I'm also gonna toss the way it's mounted. You can see they did their own kind of screw holes. And while, you know, guys, look, that's the cheapest way to do it. I actually bought some mounts that fit in these doors. So before I do that though, before we go on to that, we're gonna go ahead and take the glass out. So we do need to go ahead and take the tin out here of the door handle, and then we'll get it unhooked. And then I'm gonna pull back the vapor barrier that's been, looks like it's been off a few times in the past. Grab our little screwdriver here and see if we can pop this thing out of the way. There we go. Pull this out. Now we'll yank this vapor barrier off. You can see got a lot of tape on there. Been pulled off a couple times, I imagine. We'll pull our wires out. And I didn't unhook the battery, and the reason I didn't, holy cow, that is not the way that goes either. It's okay. Got a couple things to fix. Put the vapor barriers out of the way. Now guys, I'm gonna roll this window up so we can get to the 10 millimeters that actually hold the glass in. So I need to go grab the switch. Man, I really don't want to take it out of the door panel. I may just bring the whole door panel over here and go that route so we can roll this thing up, because I can't reach the 2 10s that we need to reach in order to release the glass. This door panel, poor thing. You can tell it's been beat on over the years. See if we can hook just that up, get the power windows to roll up just a hair. Nope. We have to plug it all in. Dadgummit. Maybe just a few things. There we go. Now what we're looking for, I'll show you in just one second. sucks to unplug this window motor. Maybe I could just lay this thing down here for now. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to unhook a couple of these wires so we can just leave this thing here. There we go. That didn't work like I wanted it to. Let's just leave this thing right here like this. And we're going to take these two tins out. You can see one here and one on the other side here. We may have to come up a little farther to get it. There we go. I'm just going to bring it up to the top here because I know I can get to both of them from the top spot. Then we'll roll it back down. You can see one here and one here on the other side. Hopefully you guys can see the one on the other side. Same thing we just did in the green truck though. Here and there. Let's get those tins out, or at least loose. That's another piece of the panel falling apart. Oh man, it's great. Once you got them loose, we're going to try to roll the window down carefully. And then our glass should be loose, okay? And it is. I'm going to try to go down just a hair further. And now I'm going to try to lift the glass out of place. I think we're going to have to go down just a little further. And we may have to loosen a couple things here. Now it's all the way down at the bottom. We should be able to roll it over, pull it out. Tell you what, we're going to take one more piece off, and that's this guy here, this seal. Let's pull that out. That'll give us a little more room to move back and forth. And I may even take this tin out to move that piece forward a little bit. Let's do that as well. And I'm going to take this one out. We can put them back in when we're finished. That gave us quite a bit more room to move. Here we go. Now, if I can get the other one in carefully without scratching the tin all up, that's the goal. You got the new tinted glass, and guys, look, this is like the total cheapest way to do this, but I had it here and I thought, why not? Okay, so look, it probably costs 50 bucks to retint the side glass, but if you got it here, you're already in here replacing the speaker, you might as well do this. But we'll see if we can get it in without scraping it all up, and if we do, we'll just have to have them retinted at some point. Now that we got everything lined up, we're gonna go back and just snug down the things that we unbolted. And then we're gonna try to move it up and down, making sure that it goes where it needs to. It's not connected. I think we got a little bit of an alignment issue on the felts, which is, look guys, that's gonna be common. But we're gonna keep raising it up, see if we can get it up into place. I don't think that the glass is shaped different on the older ones, but it may be. That could be our problem. Never heard of that. Make sure all our stuff's lined up. Seems to be. Now we're going to tighten up our two glass holding pieces, these two 10s. We're going to try to run it down again and see what happens. It may shatter, I don't know. Now we're good. All right, guys. So let's move on to the speaker. One of the things I'm going to fix while I'm in here are the fact that these come untaped. And so I'm going to re-tape them to the loom. And I'll do a majority of that off camera, but I'm going to unhook this again now that we know everything works. And we'll get these taped back on like they're supposed to be. Like, see the mirror one's supposed to go up here, and it's just, whoever took it apart did a bad job. And I'm going to do that before I get to the speaker and show you guys what I got there. The rest of them are good. It just seems to be the ones that go here that are kind of ratty that I want to take care of. I didn't mess with these up here because, guys, I actually have another set of mirrors that are going to be going on this at some point. But I did fix this one, which makes me feel a little better about the situation. All right, now onto the speakers. I'm going to take you guys in the shop and show you what I got for this, because it's really the right way to do a speaker in this truck. I'm going to have to go grab my wire strippers and strip those wires down, but let's go look at what we got in the shop. So as I said, a majority of this stuff I'm trying to buy used, or it's, you know, recycled stuff out of my old truck. But I bought some of these, guys. What these are is they're little ring adapters that allow you to just bolt the speaker to this, and then they go in like factory, which you're gonna see here in a minute how they work. The other thing I got was some foam baffles. This does a couple things. For one, it keeps the rain and moisture off of the speaker. Okay, so you know that the foam in the speaker wears out over time. A lot of that is because of the weather, you know, rain getting in that. These are relatively cheap, and I will list down the description down below, but you're talking like, I think they're 12 bucks and 12 bucks, right? So for 24 bucks, this is gonna make it sound better too. It's almost like an enclosure of sorts. Now look, you're gonna have to poke a hole to run your wire through, but I've already got, these are a plethora of speakers I've taken out of stuff, but these are actually out of my green truck. They're in really good shape. I know they work, and I've already got them rigged up here. So I sandwiched the foam baffles in between the brackets. And so let's go out there and take a look at it. I've even got the factory leads on it. I am gonna have to solder that connection, but I wanna show you guys how these fit in. I'll solder these real quick off camera, and then we will plug these in, and I'll kind of show you how they work. I moved inside. My son is just, he decides to mow where I wanna make a video. You know how that is. Anyway, so this is the deal here, right? So I've got it all plugged in, but I wanted to show you this before I actually soldered the wire. So what happens is this guy, see these two little pegs on the bottom? They go in there, this thing slides up and clips just like the factory. Now I am gonna go and take, you can cut these off, or you can actually just break them off. These are if you're using it in another vehicle. Same thing on the other side. It's got another one of those big clips like it did on the top. But I'm gonna take those off, so you can just break them off. You fold them far enough, they just snap nice and clean. Guys, I've used these a couple times. Sometimes your certain speakers don't line up the greatest. I've only got 3 screws holding this, but those 3 screws lined up awesomely. So to me, they're worth it for the 12 bucks to not have to re-drill your door. And I just don't like doing that. To me, it's just, this is a pretty simple and cheap solution. So either way, I'm gonna solder these up and we'll get them put in. Now we got everything soldered up. Looking nice. Let's get this thing in here. And then I will test it. I don't have any ad-free music to test it with. This is just a stock radio anyway, guys. So there we go. I want to make sure that that clicks and stays in place. But we're in. So I'll test it off camera. But at this point, I think we're finished here. You know how I am. I'm going to probably clean this, even though you'll never see it. I'm also going to clean the door panel. And then we'll show you kind of the correct way the door panel goes together, because a lot of people try to pull that speaker grill out and it's really supposed to come out from the back side. I'm going to show you that here. Let me get this all cleaned. Probably knock out the other side and we'll do the door panels last. I'm also going to clean that little piece of rubber that's set in between the door and the window, but won't show you guys that. We'll just we'll cut to the door panel. Here's how these things attach. I'm going to clean this off really well, and this is already, looks like somebody's tried to get this out without doing it correctly and broke it. But guys, look, these unclip from the back, so they push through there, and then this tab bends over. So the chances of you getting them out without breaking them are slim to none. So that's the way they're actually put in, is they're bent over from the inside. So get them in there. Bend them over. That's what I'm going to do to fix this. I'm going to clean this out real quick though before we put it back in. I was able to get it all, you know, somewhat cleaned off. Like, we're not going for perfection here, guys, but look, we got the window in. It's going up and down. I tried it a couple times. I'm still missing, I thought I had one of these, but I don't. So we're gonna have to source one of those at some point while I'm at the salvage yard. But let's knock this other one out. I got that back together, pretty much the reverse process. This grill fell out, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks after we bought this truck. So I'm gonna whip this one out real quick. Look, it's already given up a couple pieces here. But either way, let's knock this one out. I moved it over. Like I said, my son's still mowing, so I just can't hear a thing. You guys, I'm sure, are catching that in the background. But we'll knock it out real quick, and then we'll take a look at it with the at least 2 sides tinted. I'll probably have my window tint guy go over the back. It needs to be stripped off anyway. But at some point, I'm going to have the headliner recovered, because it is annoying driving down the road, especially with the windows down. But let's get this one knocked out real quick. Well, guys, we are all complete, and my son's still mowing. That's how long it takes to mow our yard, guys. But definitely looks a lot better. Now, it's a really odd it's really odd getting in here and seeing it all dark on the sides and then light in the back and light in the front. But and these windows aren't great, believe me. There's some scratches and mars, but it's in pretty good shape. We also got the door panels somewhat cleaned up. I didn't put any dressing on them because they're pretty trash, but we did get these back on, and new speakers. So you know, we'll just chip away a little bit at a time. I still have a couple other things I think I'll put in this video, guys, that we're gonna do. And we're not rebuilding this truck, but we are making it a little bit nicer. I've got a set of wheels that we're gonna put on down the road. He may want a little bit of a drop. We're gonna respray the hood. We just got some little stuff that we're gonna add little by little. But let's see what we've got next to do. It's been a couple days, actually probably almost a week or longer, since we did the window swap, and my son is complaining. He said it's too dark, and I think, guys, honestly, the reason it seems darker is because the back window's not tinted. And so I think the tint's not great on these anyway, so I think we'll eventually pull it off and have it redone, as well as the back. But I did have one other thing. That is an antenna, guys. So I mean, look, if you've been on this channel long enough, you know that we put short antennas on just about everything. Man, this one's snug. This is an 8mm, and I think I'm turning the whole thing down there. But I got one, a shorter one, to you know, just make things look a little nicer. I'll tell you what I may have to do. I may have to I think we're gonna pull the whole thing out here. I may have to take this piece of trim off if it's spinning all the way down. Well, maybe it's not. But Anyway, I bought one for my son's Camaro because he was all giddy about putting a short antenna on it, which I get. The antenna that comes on its stock sucks. I have so many of these. What we're replacing it with is the same one that I'll list down in the description. I've used it on just about everything, but it comes with two little standoffs like this, and then it comes with different fittings because it fits like multiple vehicles. So we're gonna go ahead and put this on here real quick, and then we'll step back and take a look at what we've done. We didn't do a whole lot, but you know, like I said, guys, I'm trying to use used parts on this, and we're just gonna try to make it look better a little bit at a time. You know, little by little, we'll, like, you know, paint the windshield wipers, get the windows retinted, clean up the interior a little bit. It needs some headlights. If I could find a used bumper, that would be great. Also the rockers, we'll talk about that here in a second. Let's get this antenna on real quick. I don't know which one of these adapters. You just kind of have to go back and forth and see which one fits the best. We'll get it on here, and then we'll step back and talk about some of the other things I'm thinking. I finally found the right combination of standoffs and the centerpiece, because there's 4 of the center sections and there's 2 of the standoffs, and they're just threaded differently, like I said, for different applications. So I'm trying to carefully do this without scratching. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything, but definitely a better look. Well, guys, there you have it. Like I said, a few rounds of modifications, nothing crazy. I don't want to blow this thing apart, make any kind of special build. And I'm sorry, guys, it's kind of windy out here, but we got the bow tie in, got those tinted windows in, even though they're going to come back out. We got the different speakers in with the new speaker pods. So, you know, like I said, just little by little. What I was going to ask or talk about, though, is down underneath. Obviously, this thing needs rockers, right? So I'm not going to spend the money to paint rockers right now, but what I'm thinking is they make some rocker covers just to make it look a little nicer for now. If I can get a set of cheap ones, I think they're like 80 bucks on Amazon, but let me know in the comments if you guys have used those. I know it's not the normal way of I would fix stuff, guys, but look, this thing has scratches and stuff all over it. So for right now, just to make it look a little nicer on the side, I mean, of course it's really dirty, but I'm thinking about just giving those things a try. I don't know. But other than that, I'm still looking for a chrome rear bumper. I'm looking for a chrome front bumper. We're also missing some trim. I've got some headlight bulbs, but I'm gonna buy some housings, I think. And then I've got a few things for my painter to paint, mainly the pieces between the headlights. I've got a different set of mirrors that I've had laying around forever. I also have a set of smooth door handles and a smooth tailgate handle. So I really don't want to do the tailgate handle right now, because whoever painted the hood of this thing did a terrible job. They also painted the tailgate, and it's just, I'm really kind of looking for another used hood. So like I said, we'll get there little by little. My son is really wanting to lower this thing, and I just think I've got some parts. I may end up lowering it and showing you guys a video on that. We also have a set of stock Tahoe wheels, like LTZ wheels, what's on my green truck. I found a set of stock wheels that we need to strip down, get some tires for. So, you know, we got some stuff planned for it little by little, like I said. But if you guys are enjoying the content on this truck or anything else on this channel, like always, please smash that thumbs up button. Guys, if you are not subscribed, go down there, hit that subscribe button. Of course, ring the bell icon. That notifies you every time we drop a new video, and stay tuned to see what we work on next.